Hello and welcome to the Principal Choice Podcast. We are very excited to have you here with me, Erik Gill.
And me, Milena Barone.
Yes, woohoo. We're going to tell you a little bit about what this podcast is, why we're doing it, and a little bit of what you could expect. So, this podcast, the goal that we are going to try to achieve here, what we are going to achieve here, giving you a community where you can learn, you can grow, just like we have had in the past in our experiences. We all know that if we stay within our bubble, within our circle, like we're not gonna just keep growing all the time. It's gonna stagnate out a little bit more. And we've both found that like the best way to do that sometimes is through those conversations, through learning from others, through experiences even that you see on the side and you're like, maybe I won't do that because I saw it didn't go well.
Right.
So before we get into all that, I'll give a little introduction about myself. Like I said, my name is Erik Gill. I'm an operations manager in the CAEC department. I've been over there now for about 2 years, which seems like craziness. It feels like forever, but then I look back, I'm like, no, it isn't. Before that, I started in the C4 department, taking calls, doing all the normal stuff, dealing with all the rough things that you kind of come across and all the fun things you come across.
Yeah. I mean, like it's always hard when you're on the front line. So it's that adaptability there that
100%.
Makes a difference, especially going into a position where you're answering calls, especially if you're not used to it at all.
Agreed.
At all.
It's very difficult.
And, I think it's really important what you were saying about building that community and getting everybody together, because that to me is really the essence of the podcast through and through. I was working to survive most of the time instead of finding fulfillment in my job. And I didn't really get that until a friend of mine reached out about this job that I have. Yeah. I'm an operations manager now, but when I started, I was just a claims processor for the VA. And it was that knowledge that I was working with the VA and helping so many others, especially navigating the roller coaster that is healthcare. I've learned more about the nuances of healthcare in the last 6 years that I've been with the company than I ever have. And it's ever changing, ever growing. And if I can help out at any point to make that easy on someone else's life, I'm more than happy to do that. And so, it also helped me have a thirst for knowledge. What can I learn to do to help make things better, to make sure that these claims are paid correctly and in a timely way, so that way they can continue to get the care that they need. Yeah. And, I just continue on that path, and I just wanted to make sure I was uplifting others along with it. And it wasn't until I was a part of the associate resource groups that we had. Yeah, love them ARGs. I was all about it. Still am, because that really sparked my interest in uplifting people and engaging others in the community.
It's one of those like biggest things too. Like that's kind of where I find that too. I never really did like the ARGs or anything like that, but building that like within my team is like that's when I found my why. Like as a lead, when I was like, oh my gosh, I can like help this person, even if it's a small way. You see how it impacts them, and then building that bigger. So
absolutely. And it can be the community within the company, like 100%. You working every day, finding something smooth and building that community within the departments, to the community of where you live, your 100%. Local area. If it's, going to the pride parades, or if it's going and celebrating Memorial Day parades, or if it's even walking for breast cancer awareness or suicide prevention, something that brings you with the community that you feel really resonates with you. Yeah. It's just so empowering.
100%.
And it gives you so much purpose, and it allows you to kind of spread out a little bit more, spread your wings almost, and like go, ooh, I'm going to see what's going on. There could be some stumbles, which is fine, because you're learning. And I think that's the most important thing, is like learning and growing within that community to make it stronger and better. And I really am excited, because I think this podcast will do that for sure.
Oh, 100%. It definitely will. And I like how you mentioned like stumbles there, like where you're having some bumps in the road. Because I feel like that's where learning usually hits the hardest. You know, when you're succeeding and you're doing all these great things and you're just like coasting forward, it's like, oh, life's easy. And then you get hit and it's like, okay, maybe I need to rethink some things. So
it's easy to go, I just want to give up. But
exactly.
it's like, no, let's see how we can move forward.
Yeah, 100%. And that's definitely going to be something that we touch on probably throughout all the episodes.
Absolutely.
Because that's really is, like I said, kind of a common theme. But leading into that, we want to let you know kind of what you're going to expect from this, what we're going to give you. It's not just going to be Milena and I here sitting and talking on this little couch or having fun, which, hey, that might be great. But, you know, what we really want to let shine is the voice and like the power and the presence of others. I don't have everything for someone to just be like, boom, now you're like LeBron James because you want to be LeBron James.
Right.
Everything you want to be. I can't do it all for you. Same thing for you. Like no one can do everything for you. And it takes those conversations and those moments in a group setting or multiple people setting to kind of actually get those different viewpoints, to get those different opinions on, oh, wow, like maybe I resonate a little bit more here and that makes more sense to me. And that's really one of the biggest things I think that we are excited about, that we really are excited about in bringing on this. Thank you again for joining us on the sneak peek episode of the Principal Choice Podcast. Listen to our next 2 episodes with Dan and Amy.